Business Water Cooler. I'm so excited to share with you that we are going to be live on every episode. So we're going to introduce our special guest today, but first, the topic today is looking and feeling good. All three of my experts can share with you how you can look good and therefore feel good. First, let's introduce our guests. Mallory?
I'm Mallory Sills with Image Success by Mallory.
I'm Lauren Cassidy with Visions for the Art of Hair.
I'm Edwina Valkunas with Sunless Kiss Spray Tan Salon.
Well, I'm really excited that you guys are here. All of you guys have your expertise in your fields. So let's start with you, Mallory. I have a couple questions to help viewers understand how to actually start gaining some confidence and start looking good, because when you look good, you feel good, right? Yeah. And it builds a lot of confidence in what you're doing, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Or even if you're just an at-home mom and you're going out to the soccer game, we can probably address that on a personal level as well. I mean, all of you entrepreneurs probably have kids, or if not, you still go out in public on a personal level. So, Mallory, you are a design specialist. You're a personal stylist.
Yes.
So share with everybody what exactly you do and how you can help them to look and feel good.
Well, I always say, to me, the bonus is the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
What I really do is I help my clients feel more comfortable in their own skin, and clothes are an avenue or a way that we get there, because like you said, when you look good, you feel good. I think no matter what anyone wants to say, we all know when you look like you feel like your best,
right?
You just feel better.
The confidence
goes through, right? Yeah. So I really use clothes and your overall outside image as a way to help people feel more like themselves, celebrate who they are, and do all those sorts of things. So it's going through their closet, getting rid of things. It's very, it's a lot more mindset oriented than a lot of people realize. And there's a lot of stylists in the world, but I think no one's really talking about the emotional side of our clothes.
That's true. Okay. That's true.
So I really focus a lot on that, because when you do have things hanging in your closet that don't fit or used to fit when I was this size or whatever, we have like these emotional hangups that we don't realize, but then every morning you go to your closet and you're like, oh, I don't fit into that.
But you keep it anyway. Do you ladies do that too?
No, because I had Mallory.
Yes.
Really?
I've worked with both of them. So
I texted her the other day. I was like, so just FYI.
And I still have all her clothes combinations on my phone.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah, so they're not allowed to have anything that
Nothing in my closet doesn't fit.
Wow. So that's one of the things you make sure is that you purge things that don't fit you.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're tempted to either go back one way or another with your weight.
Exactly. And so it's,
or feel bad about that it doesn't fit you.
Yeah, because to me it's more about like how it makes you feel. Like if you go into your closet every day and you're like, oh, that doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
Are you gonna feel good that day? Like you've already started your morning like being mean to yourself. To me, it's you're not being very nice to yourself, because you wouldn't say to your friend or family member, oh, you're not going to fit into that.
Yeah.
But you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
So to me, I look at the whole process as much more of an emotional.
Just
very
like
mindset oriented.
A refrigerator when you're going through like a dietitian would, and you're getting rid of all that junk, because again, that's mental.
Right. Okay. And so it's really like then from there developing the whole wardrobe and image for you to live your life right now and to celebrate who you are. Use the clothes as a representation of who you are as an individual, because we're all different. So we shouldn't all dress the same.
Actually, and what kind of clients do you have? I obviously see you have entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And good samples here for you as clients, but what other kinds of clients do you have?
My clients kind of range. I mean, I've had the stay-at-home.
You have
the stay-at-home clients too that are kind of like, I can't spend another day in my yoga pants, which a lot of people know that I have a thing with that, but we won't even get into that.
Whole new topic.
A whole other topic, but they're kind of just, a lot of times my clients are just reached a point where they're tired of feeling bad about themselves, and they're finally ready to be like, I deserve to feel good.
Yeah.
So my clients range from, like, I have VIPs of big companies, entrepreneurs, the stay-at-home moms. I do work with men also. So it ranges. It's really more about like the fact that they're ready to kind of let go of all the stuff that's kind of
the habits.
Because and it is hard. Like it's hard to have someone to come in your closet and be like, you need to get rid of this and we're moving on from these things. It can be difficult. So I try to approach it in a way that makes it not like, I'm not coming with a garbage can to your house, but we are probably going to eliminate some things.
Right, and maybe donate them, I assume.
Right. I like to have the client be involved. So what feels good to you to do with the clothes? Do you want to donate them? Do you want to consign them? Do you have someone else you want to give them to? Whatever feels good, because I think the process should feel like energizing, not super emotional where you feel like you're going to have an emotional breakdown when I leave.
Of course.
You know, I want it to be
Put
like,
it all back in your
I went
closet.
shopping
Right.
when you left.
Did you really? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
How did
I
you
did.
feel when you were done, if I may ask? How did you feel after she was done?
I felt sort of like cleansed. I felt it was a very emotional thing for me because I had a lot of beautiful clothes that I absolutely loved, but
they weren't working.
they
according to
weren't.
Mallory?
They didn't fit.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I decided to give them a way to, like Goodwill,
Sure.
so that someone else could appreciate them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very
yeah.
nice. And actually, you also help women feel really good and confident. So I'm sure your client comes to you and says, I'm really tired of this look. I can't handle it anymore. Whether they can't fix it any longer because they're just, maybe their hair's thinning, or they just don't know how to style it for their new job.
Mhm.
Now tell me a little bit about how you help your clients.
Well, my clientele mostly are women that work,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. So they're the professional woman, and she needs to look presentable with her hair.
Sure.
So I like to do a really thorough consultation, making sure I understand like their lifestyle, as well as do they want to pull it back in a ponytail? Do they go for a run every day? How much time do they want to blow dry? So
Right.
that has a lot to do with it, so that
Mhm.
their hair looks good today, but then it looks good 6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So that's really important. Also, the health of the hair is really important to me.
Oh, okay.
Incredibly important. So if I feel like it would be too much damage on the hair, I wouldn't recommend that,
Oh, that's good.
because I don't want to over-process hair
Sure.
or anything like that. So the health of the hair, the shine of the hair, the moisture, it's really important.
So you would tell a client who frequently dyes their hair, if it is damaged by what you're seeing, you would tell them maybe you should wait a little bit and come back in maybe a month or two? Or?
Well, what I usually recommend is our treatments. We have treatment masks
Okay.
now that you can do in the salon in about 5 minutes. So I recommend that. I also recommend Ovoplex treatments that also can repair the hair from the inside out.
And how long does that take, the treatment?
That takes about a half hour, that treatment.
You get results in a half an hour?
Yeah,
Wow.
and it repairs all the bonds in your hair, so your hair is at a virgin-like state when you leave.
Wow.
So I've done that on clients that do color their hair themselves, but most of my clients come and get their hair cut and colored by
Sure.
me. So I have a strong female clientele.
Mm-hmm. And you also do makeup, right?
I do
help
makeup.
with, okay.
I do makeup consultations, and then I do a service called the 5-Minute Face, 5 products in 5 minutes, making you look 5 years younger.
Wow.
So after we do maybe a new color or a new cut, then I'll suggest getting a makeup application done and making them look and feel good.
It's like a full service salon from your chin up.
Yeah.
Right.
And now from your chin down,
It's Mallory. Yes.
your chin down, we actually have
Our
for-
whole body.
Our whole body.
Your face too.
we have your service of Sunless Kiss. So tell us a little bit about what
We
you do to help
do.
your clients.
So it's a spray tanning salon.
Uh-huh.
That's all we do is spray tan.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We have no beds and we have no machine booths that spray tan. So it's just literally you and me in a room.
Okay.
And then I hand apply the spray tan solution to you.
Okay, so you don't do the spraying, you do the
No, I
application
spray it on.
hands on. Oh, you do spray on. Okay, so you probably just, after you're done, do you
No,
fix
we
it a
just
little?
blow dry you a little bit till
Oh,
you're dry.
okay, okay.
And then you can just put your clothes on and go home.
And now, are there any benefits to the process of what you're doing to them? Is there any kind of something that, other than feeling good and looking good, is there any benefit to that? I know sometimes the beds, they always say that there's something like vitamin C or D that you can get out of that, or?
Yeah, so everyone looks and feels a little bit better with some color.
Sure.
You look a little bit more alive, a little bit healthier, a little bit thinner.
Oh, you do
yeah.
look thinner with?
Yeah, so
Really?
we
I
always say if you can't
totally
tone it,
believe
tan
that.
it.
Yes.
No, if you
So-
can't tone it, tan it. I love that.
So everyone
It's
feels
true,
a
too.
little bit better with a
Wow.
little bit of color, right? So if you're going to the beach, do you want to go with a little bit of color in your bathing suit, or do you want to go,
Sure.
completely without color? You
Right.
just feel better about
Yeah.
yourself. So we start out with a pH spray,
Mhm.
and then we do and that balances the pH levels on your body.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So the reason why spray tans come out funky is because people's pHs are different,
Okay.
and then solutions don't adhere evenly. And a lot of salons don't do that. So we're really lucky we do a pH spray. then we'll do the color, and then we can lock it in with a moisture lock spray, and it helps give you that like extra vibrant glow.
Mm-hmm.
So it has A, C, and E vitamins in it, a little bit of anti-wrinkle,
Nice.
and it botanicals, and it just makes your skin softer, more glowy, more healthy. So people who can't go in the sun, because we have a lot of like post-cancer patients, skin cancer, breast cancer, anything like that, they can't go in the sun.
Right.
People with like possible skin diseases that their skin takes color really funny,
Right.
they'll come in and they're able to get color and not have to risk wrinkles, cancer, age spots, that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's really nice. And I understand you also have young children that come in as well. So it's anywhere from children to 70?
Yeah.
All
so-
ages?
All ages. So the youngest was 7. The oldest has been 75, 78, around there. Kids come in because they have competitive cheer, competitive pom,
Sure.
dance, gymnastics, all that.
It's like the cherry on the cake. You have a nice outfit, but you also need that
right.
little bit of extra something
Yeah,
on your
and they
skin.
look so good.
Yeah.
So then what happens is they'll come in for spray tans when they're younger. I have a bunch of eighth grade girls and high school girls, so proms and homecomings.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Because tanning beds are illegal for 18 and under
I did
now.
not know that. Okay.
So they'll come in, they'll get their spray tan. So we get them in young. They understand how important it is to take care of your skin and be healthy about your tans, not go to tanning beds, use sunscreen, don't go out in the sun.
Sure.
And then their moms come in. And then I have kids coming back from college that started with me in high school and in 8th grade. And they'll come back for their sorority dances and their graduations and all that.
So you have
it
an
just
ongoing
starts-
relationship with everybody. That's nice.
Yeah, so it just starts young. It's nice.
And actually, the fact that you have that application after the spray tan is done, does that help actually keep some of the rays off the skin? Or no? So
You
it's
still
not like
have
an
to use
SPF.
sunscreen. Yeah.
So you do. Now, if you put that sunscreen on top of the tan, is it still? I mean, does a tan stay put or?
Yeah, so sometimes aerosol sunscreen has a little bit too much alcohol in it, and that can dry out your skin. So the thick, creamy, waterproof ones are always best.
Okay.
And it kind of actually prevents the chlorine or salt water or sun to come in and damage your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to reapply, but it actually helps protect your skin as a
Okay.
nice barrier level.
And how long does a spray tan last?
7 to 10 days on average, depending on how well you take care of it.
And I keep looking at Mallory because Mallory is a client. So this is actually
She's like eyeing the tan.
she's a real example
Yeah.
of what she can do for you.
Right.
Exhibit A, that's right.
Exhibit A.
It's so funny. All of your services complement each other,
They do.
and they work well with just that one person that has no confidence. We're going to go into some questions that I have that are a little bit more educational. So for Mallory, since I'm looking towards you, I'd like to know, let's differentiate. There's a misunderstanding about stylists, right?
Yes.
Let's differentiate the ones in retail versus what you do as a profession.
Right. So a lot of retailers are kind of referring to their sales associates as stylists, which is fine.
Mhm.
But because of that, there's some misunderstandings, like you said, about what's different from what makes us different.
Yeah.
So for me, I knew from a really early age that this is what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in college, like my whole plan was around doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I went and got formal education
Okay.
in personal styling specifically. So I have 3 different certifications just in personal styling.
Wow.
And so it, like some people will say style is something that can't really be taught to a point, but there is a lot of science aspect behind it with body shape and color and that sort of thing that I do believe you need to have some education on it in order to really be able to like serve your clients.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, yes, I always knew those certain things.
Mhm.
Growing up, it was easy for me.
Sure.
But going through those certification programs and all of my education formally really helped me be able to describe it to my clients better.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, it was like, well, yeah, it just goes. Yeah. But I would never be able to explain in someone else's mind, to help them understand it, because most of my clients are not in a creative mindset, right? Which is why they're coming to me to help them with the creative part of their lives.
Yeah.
So it helped me be able to better be able to better explain to them in a way that makes sense to them.
Exactly.
Like, this is why it goes. And that's what I try to approach every appointment with my clients in that way of,
Sure.
I want to tell you why something is working and why something
Well, you're
isn't.
educating them. You're
Right.
not just styling them, but you're educating them so they can do it on their own, right?
Right.
And it's like an interior designer.
Yes.
You know, an interior designer, they don't just have a good eye and a talent. They actually have measurements and scale and all that, you know,
Exactly.
background from their education.
Right.
Personal
makes
stylists
sense.
at Nordstrom's want to sell you stuff,
Yeah.
right? That's their job.
That's
they work
true.
on commission.
Right.
Ah, that's
Yes.
a good
Right,
so-
differentiation.
Yes.
They have a
Love
job. They want to sell you something. They want to make their commission. They don't care if it looks
Right.
good on you, but if it has a nice price tag on you, it looks really good.
Okay, that's see, now that makes sense.
Right.
That's so true. They do that, don't they?
She'll go to Target and shop for you if it looks good on you.
Right. Yeah. And that's
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the difference.
And they're clients of Mallory's also, by the way.
yes. But it is like, to me, I always tell my clients, I don't care if you spend $5, $500, I don't care what you spend. To me, it's about like solving the problems in your wardrobe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much that costs. It's not about cost to me.
And then how do you help someone who's like myself, has a little weight problem, or a lot like myself? How do you actually help someone like myself? I'll use me as an example.
Yeah.
How would you scientifically evaluate me and help me?
We go through, I look at more of the body shape.
The shape, okay. Not necessarily the weight,
Yes.
but the shape of
Exactly.
the person. Okay.
Because truly, if we're all honest with ourselves, our weight, regardless of our weight on the scale, our actual shape of our body pretty much stays the same throughout our lives.
Oh.
It's the actual shape, like
Whether
the
it's a
structure
pear
of our
or apple,
Yeah.
they
Exactly.
could say, okay.
Yeah, I'm not big on like the fruit thing. I always thought that was weird because I'm like, we're not pear, like we're not fruit. You know, I always thought that was weird.
I love it.
I never heard
But in all honesty, like regardless of, you know, whether you're at your ideal weight or not so ideal weight, the overall structure of your body is the same. So I look at it more in that sense as opposed to like your weight doesn't matter because regardless of the number on the scale, you can still look amazing.
Okay.
And that's easier said than done because I know we all get hung up on our weights and the number on the scale or the size of our
That's
pants
true.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be like, no, I can look good at any size. We've kind of been told like, no, you only look good if you're in this size or fitting this standard, right? As opposed to, it doesn't matter what size you wear.
Well, I have to tell you though, I mean, for someone like myself, I'm in the plus section.
Yeah.
No secret there. And I have a hard time, it's kind of frustrating, and I know Melissa McCarthy had mentioned this as well. The plus size section, for some reason, is not attractive at all. I mean, she just lost a lot of weight, and she starts designing her own clothes. Yeah, that's true.
And they're super
And
cute.
Because they're not cute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why is that, first of all? I mean, why can't they make, you know, if I see a cute top like what you're wearing, oh my God, I would love to wear that, only because in my mind, I'm not as big as I am. But when I go to look for that, they don't have that size.
It's also, I believe some of that is too, we get hung up on believing
that it would look
it's
good
not
on
a
you?
lot. It's not going to be in my size. It's not going to be there for me.
Well, it's true though.
But it's also like what we kind of like get these blinders on and we don't really see what's really there.
Yeah.
Yes, the plus size kind of sizing is limited.
Yeah, right.
But there are a lot more designers that are coming out with more options for people, and they're starting to realize that just because, like, plus size wants to be cute too. Like, why is that a thing? But it's taken some more time, just like petite sizes.
Yeah.
It's any like different sizing. It just takes longer for whatever reason. I'm not working at, you know, the big retailers. I can't tell you exactly why.
I see, okay.
But I do think that it's also where you just have to be like more patient and you have to understand and think less about like, oh, I want to wear that top because it looks good on her, and think about, well, what do I like about that top? What can I find?
That's a good point.
So maybe you like the pattern, and then she can find you a shirt with that pattern
or
that
good
color
that works for your shape.
Versus that, because that shirt wouldn't look good on everybody.
Right,
it's like
that's true.
This big.
Yeah.
So, right? So we all have to kind of like think,
Yeah.
What do I like about it? How can I find something that looks
That's
just like
awesome.
And like
Kit,
how
I
to
love that.
interpret it into
For you. For you.
Because I always tell my clients, I don't expect you to wear what I wear, and to be honest, I don't want my clients to wear what I wear because this is me.
This is you. That's
And
true.
you're
It expresses
you.
who you are when you wear these types of clothes.
Totally.
So when you saw, let's say, Lauren, for example, and helped her with her wardrobe,
Mhm.
then when you did take her out or however you did evaluate her wardrobe, you said, okay, this is your personality.
Yeah.
Did you include her personality?
Yes.
This is your height,
Yes.
size, and then at the same time, this is what coloring goes good with whatever your skin or hair is, right?
Mm-hmm. I take in all of those factors. Like I especially like to focus on someone's personality because a lot of times people will come to me and the way someone is dressed, once you start talking to them, you're like, you are not showing yourself like who you really are.
Mhm.
I've had some clients that are really outgoing, amazing people, and they dress super conservatively, but they're not even conservative at all. And I'm like, what's happening here?
Okay.
But a lot of it comes from, this is what I thought I was supposed to wear.
Yeah.
I'm supposed
because
to wear
they're
that.
in a certain job.
Right, because they're in a certain job, a certain industry, and they feel like, I can't express myself. But you can express yourself and still be appropriate for that industry.
Now, you can help people express themselves by their personality as well. I mean, even...
Yeah, but there's a lot of women that say, oh, I can't wear that style because my face is too big, or I have a double chin.
Okay, so how do you adjust that?
Or because I'm a certain age that I can't grow my hair, or
That's
I
what
can't
they're
shorten
saying,
my
right?
hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what do you
I don't
say?
really see that when they're in the chair.
What do you see?
I just see beautiful women. That's what I see.
That's nice.
I don't really look at all the imperfections. I look at the perfections that God already gave them.
Right.
So
Okay,
if they
so you
already
work
have
with what they
beautiful,
have.
if they already
Okay.
have beautiful hair,
Yeah.
then we just want to enhance that.
Okay.
That's all we really want to do. Or a lot of women are very attached to their length, you know. But you can, you know, they want it down to here, but if they grow it down to there, it may be very stringy. So
because of their hair condition?
because of the hair type and texture.
Yeah.
So if you just shorten it a little bit, you're going to have actually thicker, fuller. It's going to have the feeling of longer hair because it's healthier.
Okay.
So a
That
lot
makes
of times
sense.
it's sort of like what Mallory does. It's a lot of educating on what's possible and what you have to be patient for if you want to grow it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you're going to grow it, then it has to be healthy. So what products do you need to grow your hair to make it healthy at the same time versus putting nothing in the hair?
Yeah.
Because 68% of all women coming into hair salons don't use anything in their hair.
You mean as far as product after they wash
blow dry
their
with
hair?
nothing in their hair.
Yeah.
So
I've
they
seen
don't
sometimes.
use anything
I
in their
try.
hair.
I
Right.
try.
So then they have problems of frizz or they have problems of dryness.
Yeah.
But when you ask, well, what are you using on their hair? No one has really educated them on what are the tools that you need to get this style. So a lot of times it's product, it's combs and brushes, it's using your hands, it's not using a towel to dry your hair like this. If you have curly hair, it causes frizz. So there are always lots of tips and tricks that actually don't cost any money. It's sort of like what Mallory was saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost any money to give people information.
Yeah.
So that's how I view myself, is just giving people as much information as possible and then looking at themselves a different way.
Yeah.
They may not cut their hair that day, but I'll say, you know, just go through magazines and look around, be observant of women that look possibly like you that have that kind of style.
Oh.
And how do they look? They look probably fine.
Well, what do you do if somebody does find something in a magazine that, let's say, is extremely short and it just does not, you know in your heart it's not going to look good on them? How do you actually address that?
And that's really never happened. I can't
really?
say really, really short. Women don't have a tendency to want really short hair, I find. Here in the Midwest, they like it about bob length.
Oh, right.
They like the security of their hair. If you're in New York or California, you're going to see a little bit more edge to their hair.
Like yours. Yours is nice and edgy. I love it.
Right. But most women are not going to go maybe as short.
Yeah.
So you have to you have to look at their head shape. You have to look at...
You do have to look at the shape.
I look
then.
at their ears, if they go
Okay.
out or not, their eyes, their forehead, things like that.
So you guide them to
Yeah,
where...
you sort of guide them and say, okay,
Okay.
this is where you could go. I just had a client last week that had very long hair, and we cut it into, we cut it short. We cut it shorter,
Like
like
yours?
you were saying.
Uh-huh.
And she was open, though. She was
Okay.
totally open.
You have to be open for that dramatic change, right?
And I told her it would make her look at least 10 years younger. And then when she went to work the very
Sold.
next day,
Yeah.
10 years?
two
All
guys
right.
at her work said she
Shave
looked
it.
at least 10 years younger.
Really?
Yeah, two guys at her
That's a
work.
win, right?
Now,
Two men.
actually, that's a good question for you for looking younger.
Mhm.
Do you find that your clients have said that they actually look younger or have had compliments that they look younger? Now, thinner, you said.
Thinner, for sure. Younger, I don't know, healthier, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Healthier, they feel better.
Hmm.
I don't get younger a lot.
Okay,
I just get, they feel better about themselves
sure.
and a little bit more vibrant and way more confident,
Yeah.
men
And
and women.
Do you find that actually when women are getting treated for the tan on a regular basis, do you find it actually gives them enough confidence to lose weight or to get in shape? It kind of like, hey, I look pretty good. Maybe I will start, aiming for a better goal for myself. No? Really?
Why?
She's so honest.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. Why would you exercise when you can just
When you
come
can
in
just tan it.
so hard?
Well, I mean, it's like a double win, don't you think? I mean,
It is like
It is. It would be. It would be nice to have that connection of being
Yeah.
like, hey, you look and feel good. Like, now go to the gym. But like, legitimately, I'm like, don't go to the gym today because you are gonna rub off your tan.
well, yeah, that's true.
yeah, I've gotten yelled at for that one.
You know, I'm like, I've had kids, like somebody be like, can I go exercise before my event? I'm like, no, don't eat. Like, all
Sure.
the personal trainers are having heart attacks. But
Yeah.
like, I don't want, because if you get too sweaty and you're wearing something super tight,
Yeah.
it'll rub it off.
Oh,
It has
okay.
the,
Yeah.
so you just have to be very careful. It's not an actual tan. It's just on your skin. So,
So it rubs off, literally? So
If-
because I
if-
don't see anything on her white top at all.
no, it won't
No.
come off on your clothes. But like, let's say you did 2 hours of cardio every day and you had your sports bra
Oh,
on.
okay.
Where you wore your sports
Through the
bra,
pores and all
where
that.
you wore your sports bra, which are really tight, or your socks, or your shin guards, or something, it could possibly wear off.
Okay.
So for like brides and stuff, if they have off the shoulder
Yeah.
gowns, I always say, please do all your exercising beforehand.
Mhm.
I'm not saying don't exercise. You should exercise. We
Yeah.
should all exercise. So hard to exercise. But maybe not the day of your wedding. So
Right.
I want it to be perfect that day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then you can go exercise after.
Now, when is it too much? Is it ever too much to do that, or
You mean in a week?
I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
you just come once a week. People come
so
once a week.
so you could have someone come once a week indefinitely, and it wouldn't be any.
No.
It wouldn't affect them
No,
one way or
because
another.
so what it does is you exfoliate really well,
Mhm.
so it has the freshest palette of skin
Mhm.
to adhere to.
Mhm.
Then you have your spray tan on, and then as your skin sheds daily
That
throughout
makes
the
sense.
week, then your spray tan kind of fades away.
That makes sense. Okay.
So bad spray tans will fade poorly, and they'll get like chunky or alligator
Mhm.
skinny or patchy. This brand, Body Bronze, just fades really nice and easy. And then at the end of your 7-10 days on average,
Mhm.
you just take an exfoliator, you take a washcloth, and you just put some exfoliant, and
okay.
you exfoliate off and come back and do it again.
Okay. Well, that
Nice.
encourages you to get new skin growth then by exfoliating.
Yeah, your skin's super healthy.
So it's twofold.
Yeah.
And are there any regulations that come with that territory of tanning?
No.
Not with the beds, anyway. I'm sure.
The
right?
beds are
That's
yeah,
a benefit
the
of
beds.
yours.
So mine has, knock on wood, none.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
really good for you.
like
That's
all natural.
Yeah. So we spray pregnant people.
Gluten free? Is it gluten free?
It is.
Oh, it
No,
is.
Yeah. She was like,
It is.
no,
my
it's not
goodness.
really.
It's paraben free.
Oh my goodness.
It's everything free.
So
And
I
all
just-
her lotions too
Yeah.
are like the same way. So the lotions can help elongate
Yeah.
some of your tan too.
Wow.
So I
Plus
have
they're just awesome.
people from Oak Park, and I'm in Wheaton, come that are so strict vegan
Mhm.
that they don't
Because it
wear
gets in your
leather.
pores, right?
It just adheres to-
gluten or
Yeah. So, but it doesn't get into like bloodstream or anything like that.
Mhm,
But I have strict vegans that come in and can't have anything, and they'll drive from Oak Park to Wheaton
Mm.
for a spray tan.
and they wear the clothes that are made from hemp or what have
Everything,
you
yeah.
too. Okay,
So
because
that's
it's
nice.
all a psychological thing. It's not that it affects your internal organs if it has gluten in it. It's just that they're standing by their.
Well, they just
What they
that's
stand
just their
for.
Well, I'm
Anyways.
celiac. I'm gluten free, so
Mhm.
I
Okay.
wouldn't want anything.
Just in
surrounding me
case
that
it gets
has
through your
gluten.
pores.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that totally makes sense. Now, for your type of industry, what would you suggest that somebody do to get involved? And maybe we can each very briefly address that for each of your industries.
Yeah. So like What do you mean, like
If they want to
education-wise?
if they want to become a stylist, do you suggest then that they get some education
I
to
do.
advance further
Yes.
than going to retail? Okay.
Yeah, and especially I think like to be a personal stylist, it's not because I'll have people that be like, "Oh, you shop," and I'm like,
Is that what they say?
"Yeah," and I'm like,
Yes.
sure, that's a part of it, but it's not. To me, that's not real. Like,
That's the perk.
yeah, that's the perk. So I think there's a lot of because the job title of being a personal stylist is becoming so much more known that I've had a lot of young girls that are like, "Oh, I want to be a stylist. I like to shop."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just realize that it's
What's
not
involved.
just that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotions involved. There's
That
a
makes
lot
sense.
of, there's so much more to it. So I think you truly need to have a passion for it because it is hard sometimes to deal with women and the constant like, "Oh, I look fat. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this." It's hard to know how to interact in a situation like that and not let it escalate. So there's a lot of psychology involved. There's so much more than a lot of people realize.
So get an education.
Get an education
Be serious
and
about
really
it, and understand how it works.
Exactly.
Okay.
Understand that it's not just going to the mall every day.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Sorry, kids. You have to do a little work.
Right.
And then, Lauren, what would you suggest?
Well,
for
to be a
grateful-
hairdresser, you have to go to beauty school.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have to go to beauty school, but more importantly, after that, you have to do a lot of
continuing education. Right?
continuing education. I also am an instructor for a brand called Pureology, so I teach for that brand.
That's nice.
Continuing education hours for stylists in salons. So getting your continuing education hours
is
to
important.
know what's current and what's out there.
Yeah, of course, that makes
to
sense.
gain that confidence. behind your chair.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Edwina, what do you suggest somebody get involved in your business?
Well, I would first suggest that you try a bunch of different brands. Like go out and get, if they wanted to open a spray tan business, and see which products you like.
That makes sense.
And how they work on people's skin and what people are saying about them. And then, and what kind of support system you have. So I use Body Brown's products, and the gal who invented it, she's my mentor, and I got certified through her. So it was a couple weeks certification process, and then she also will come up and do like little teachings again if I'm like struggling with something, refreshers or something like that. And she is literally available 24 hours a day almost.
Wow.
So like if I run into an issue or if I have a problem, I can just text her.
Nice.
And she responds. Like she literally just had a baby a couple weeks ago, and I ran into a problem on Sunday, and I like panicked emailed her, and she called me the very next day.
Wow, that's service.
That's that support for your
need
products.
that for your business.
If I need it, the product's there the next day.
Yeah.
If there's anything that a customer has, an issue, comment, complaint, praise, the support system is right there, and it's always perfect and beautiful. So that's kind of where you want to go if you're going to go into the business. You want to have the support system, the education, and the passion to just make people look good.
And it's funny, you all have in common that you educate your clients. I love that. You all, to some extent, educate your clients. You all have products that you provide, and your product, most especially, we didn't mention, was your Heal product. What was that called again?
That's my sponsor. Yeah, Soul Serum.
Soul Serum.
Yes.
So you each have something in addition to what you do as a main profession. You have a little extra bonus to help.
Sure.
And that's something that we could have touched base a little bit more on, but we're running out of time.
Yeah.
And I, unfortunately, am not able to see the questions, so I'm going to have to ask my little producer over there if there's any questions. Unfortunately, we're doing this new process of doing live with YouTube, so if you did ask any questions, please ask us after the show. It will be recorded and posted on Facebook. And just comment in the comment section. And I'm sure each of our experts here will be happy to address them from our Facebook water cooler page.
Sure,
the business water cooler. Okay, great. So we're going to close the show right now with what we call our 30-second elevator speech, which kind of wraps up and gives another concept of what they do, so you can familiarize yourselves with them again. And we will have their contact information, on the Facebook page, so that if you have any questions further, you can directly message them as well. Mallory?
I'm Mallory Stills. I'm an image and wardrobe consultant, and I help fierce entrepreneurs and corporate powerhouses step into their power by developing a wardrobe and an image that represents who they are, what they do, and ultimately helps them feel incredibly confident.
And you go to people's homes too. Mostly that's what you do, right?
Yes.
And then you do some shopping with them.
The mall is a portion of it, yes.
Okay.
But
The mall is your office, right?
Yeah, sometimes it is.
That's awesome. And then, Lauren, you want to give us your 30-second pitch?
Yes, it's Visions for the Art of Hair. And my tagline is Bold, Beautiful You, making you feel really confident and bold and beautiful. I specialize in cuts, colors, highlights, makeup, and eyebrow shaping. And my clientele is mainly women because I specialize in different coloring techniques as well.
Oh, okay, excellent. And you have a salon in your home.
I have a salon. It's a boutique salon. I've been there 15 years.
Wow.
So pretty long time.
That's wonderful.
And I sell products like Pureology, Redken, many different dryers,
Oh, you
flat
sell dryers
irons,
too. Oh,
curling
okay.
irons,
So you have whole
makeup,
accessory.
skincare.
Okay, that's great to
All
know. Okay, excellent. And go ahead, Edwina.
I'm Edwina Valkunas. I have Sunless Kiss Spray Tan Salon. We are just a spray tan salon, and we welcome any people, men, women, children, to come in and get a nice healthy tan without the benefit, without any like product problems from the sun.
And do you actually host parties? I meant to ask that earlier. Like bridal parties come in?
Yeah, so they'll come in and they'll bring like some champagne or some like treats.
Oh, that's
or
nice.
We've had cheer teams come in and bring some Oreos and like Kool-Aid and stuff, and they have like little dance parties at the salon, and it's super cute. But it's nice when the groups come in when we just kind of get them in and out.
Yeah.
They can have fun with it.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much, all of you, for
Thank
being
you.
on. Mallory, Lauren, and Edwina.
Thank you.
We'll tune in next time for our other shows that we have in store, but thank you very much for tuning in. Take care, everybody.
If you are interested in being on our show, follow us on Facebook.com/The Business Water Cooler to see when the next show will be produced. And join our business community to gain not only some helpful information, but also some new contacts. Let's help each other grow.